everyone, and welcome back to Next Gen Gaming SC. I'm your host, Josh Schneider, and we are live in Greenville, South Carolina for the Planetary Qualifier here at Borderlands Comics and Games. 88 players joined in today's tournament, and now we are down to the top 8. This top cut features one of the most diverse top 8s we have seen so far this Planetary Qualifier season, with 7 different leaders represented. Rey was the only repeat leader here in this cut, 2 Rey Tarkintown decks. And Rey was actually the most represented leader in this tournament, followed by Boba. There has been so much talk about Boba Fett, that Boba Fett is just too strong. He needs some sort of ban or errata. And my goodness, he has been dominant in this Planetary Qualifier season, but just one Boba Fett in today's top 8. We absolutely love to see this diversity. As we get set for our top 8 feature match, we've got Joel Lee on the right piloting Rey Tarkintown. And then on the left, we have Jordan Hanning piloting Palpatine Yellow. And if you are familiar with Next Gen Gaming SC, you are familiar with Jordan Hanning. Jordan was featured at the Richmond 4K, ended up winning that tournament. And then a very strong run, a top 8 finish at the Baltimore 2K. So Jordan has built up quite the resume so far here in Star Wars Unlimited. And he has yet to lose a feature match here at Next Gen Gaming SC. So we will see if Jordan can continue with that streak. But the man sitting in his way of a spot in the semifinals is Joel Lee. Joel finished with a 5-2 record through the 7 rounds of Swiss, squeaking into the top 8 as the 7th seed. Jordan was 6-1 through Swiss, and he comes in as the number 2 seed and will be able to start this first game with the initiative. These two players did play against one another in the Swiss rounds. They faced off in round 5, and Jordan was able to take a 2-0 win over Joel. So Joel now has the opportunity to get some payback when it matters most. Starting things out in round 1, Jordan playing Greedo in the ground arena, and Joel follows up with Green Squadron A-Wing in the space arena. For those that are interested, the deck list for both of these players will be posted down in the description below. Something to note with Jordan's deck, he is main decking 3 Confiscate, which is probably geared more towards the Boba Fett matchup for Boba's armor. But it can certainly come into play here as Joel is running a couple Jedi lightsaber, and of course Rey able to throw quite a bit of upgrades around with experience tokens. So here in round 2, Jordan playing a Cloud Rider in the ground arena, and Joel just continuing to put the pressure on in the space arena. 3 damage to Joel's base with Greedo. Joel was able to put an experience token onto that first Green Squadron A-Wing and attack for 4 damage into Jordan's base. Jordan with his Palpatine deck going with the standard 30 HP base. We see Joel running the rare 25 HP base Tarkintown. So here in round 3, Jordan is going to start things out with McClounky returning the Cloud Rider to his hand. That is going to deal 3 damage to the second Green Squadron A-Wing, defeating the A-Wing, but Joel is going to come back across for another 4 damage to Jordan's base. 8 damage on Jordan's base pretty early. And Jordan with another Cloud Rider, so Cloud Riders back-to-back rounds, nobody to ambush into. And Joel is going to play his first ground unit of this first game, K2SO. Jordan attacks into K2SO with Greedo, putting 3 damage onto K2SO. Greedo defeated. Jordan was looking for a non-unit card off the top of his deck. Greedo, when defeated trigger, allows you to discard the top card of your deck. If it's not a unit, you can deal 2 damage to a unit. But unfortunately, Jordan discarded a unit card. Joel just claimed the initiative, and then Jordan, using the Palpatine action ability to defeat his Cloud Rider, deal 1 damage to K2SO, which defeats K2SO, and the when defeated trigger kicks in, and Joel has Jordan discard 1 card, Jordan discarding the Cloud Rider that was returned to his hand from McClounky. And now we move on to round 4. 8 damage on Jordan's base, just 3 damage on Joel's base. And Joel still has that Green Squadron A-Wing in the Space Arena that can actually get another experience token, and that's exactly what Joel is going to do to start this round. Rey action ability. And Green Squadron A-Wing has 2 experience tokens. The A-Wing now a 3/5, and when it attacks, it will hit for 5 damage. Jordan playing another ground unit that has ambush, but nothing to ambush into. Boss coming into play. And Joel is going to come across the board for 5 damage with A-Wing, 13 damage on Jordan's base. That Green Squadron A-Wing doing a ton of work here early in game 1. Jordan has now played 3 ground units with ambush in this first game, but Joel has been able to dodge them, playing the 2 Green Squadron A-Wing. Did have the K2SO, but the space units coming in big here in game 1. Jordan has just claimed the initiative, and with the final 4 open resources, Joel playing Pillage. Jordan forced to discard 2 cards from his hand. Discards Confiscate and Super Laser Technician. We move on to the next round. Jordan just 3 cards in his hand, will be down to 2 after resourcing one of those. And again, he is staring at another 5 possible damage from Green Squadron A-Wing if he does not have an immediate answer. Now both players at 6 resources. Of course, Rey can be deployed this turn as well, so Joel could put on some pressure here in this round. Jordan starting things off with his own space unit, 7th Fleet Defender, coming out a little late to the party, as it would take 2 hits from 7th Fleet Defender to take out the A-Wing. And Joel not going to hesitate one bit. Another 5 damage to Jordan's base with A-Wing. Jordan down to 1 card in hand, 3 open resources. And Jordan in a pretty tough spot in this first game. He is going to attack Joel's base with Bosk, 4 damage. And that puts the damage total on Joel's base up to 7. And Joel is going to go ahead and deploy Rey. Jordan has just 1 card in hand, 3 open resources. The Palpatine action ability in this spot would get him an extra card, but it would not answer either one of Joel's units. Jordan is going to play Waylay from his hand, And he will return the Green Squadron A-Wing to Joel's hand. But not after that A-Wing dealt 5 more damage here in this round. With the Bosk trigger, Jordan playing that event. Bosk does 2 damage to a unit, so 2 damage dealt to Rey. And now the action back over to Joel. He is in complete control of this game right now. At a minimum, he could deal 3 more damage to Jordan's base with Rey. Rey is a 2/6, but on attack, she can give a unit with 2 or less power and experience token, including herself, so Rey could attack for 3 total damage. Looks like Joel is also holding Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker very likely going to be coming down onto the board in the next round. Jordan has a very good target for Luke Skywalker, that 7th Fleet Defender in the Space Arena. So starting things out for Joel, he will attack into Jordan's base with Rey. Rey getting that experience token. Rey now a 3/7 with 2 damage on, so 5 HP remaining. Jordan just going to claim the initiative. Well, one thing that Palpatine needs to do is he needs to be able to ramp. And Jordan has not had the ability to ramp his resources at all here in Game 1. And is quite behind in this spot. Joel is just going to play Rivals Fall, taking out Bosk. And we move on to the next round. Jordan in top deck mode really needs a Maul or Darth Vader in this spot to take out Rey. Jordan does have the first action. If he did find Vader or Maul off the top, he could ambush Rey before Joel has a chance to get 3 more damage on Jordan's base. But it does not look like Jordan found one of those 2 units. He is going to attack Joel's base for 3 with 7th Fleet Defender. So Rey was able to restore 3 damage from the base last round, and now that 3 damage put back on. But Rey is going to go in for 3 damage to Jordan's base, and that 3 damage comes right back off again. 24 damage on Jordan's base, just 4 damage on Joel's base. Jordan just claims the initiative. Joel's going to play Luke Skywalker, and Jordan will scoop it up right there. Joel taking a game on Jordan for the first time today and has a 1-0 lead here in the quarterfinals. We are back and ready for Game 2 here in the quarterfinal matchup. Jordan Hanning versus Joel Lee. Joel with the 1-0 lead. Joel got off to such a good start in Game 1 and dealt a total of 18 damage with that first Green Squadron A-Wing. And that was really able to carry him to victory. Jordan will need to try and find a way to ramp his resources through resupply or super laser technician. Have that option to get Palpatine into play here in Game 2 and get to those late game threats. Jordan does have Change of Heart and Palpatine's Return in the sideboard. Those will very likely see some action in the main deck for game 2 and on. Change of Heart has some very juicy targets here in this matchup, and Palpatine's return can be a fantastic way to bring back some of those big threats that Joel will have the possibility of discarding through things like K2SO, Force Throw, and Pillage. So starting things out in round 1, Jordan on the initiative once again. He's got Cloud Rider in the ground arena. And Joel plays Sabine into the ground arena. And here in round 2, a quick trade. Jordan attacking Sabine with Cloud Rider. Both units defeated. And here comes that Green Squadron A-Wing once again. In round 2, the space threat for Joel back in play, and still one open resource, meaning that that A-Wing can get bigger. Jordan has a 7th Fleet Defender here in round 2 in game 2. And Joel does use the Rey action ability, putting the experience token onto Green Squadron A-Wing. And that means that Jordan would need 2 attacks with that 7th Fleet Defender to defeat the A-Wing, or at least 1 attack and a Palpatine action ability, because the A-Wing's sitting with 4 HP after getting the experience token. For round 3, Jordan's still on the initiative, and it will be interesting to see how these players go about the space arena here in this round. 4 HP on A-Wing. Jordan will need at least 2 actions to defeat the A-Wing. He is going to attack right away with the 7th Fleet Defender, putting 3 damage on A-Wing. 7th Fleet Defender losing the shield token. And now Joel has to decide, does he put another experience token onto the A-Wing, protecting A-Wing from being defeated right away with a Palpatine action ability? Joel contemplating an attack with A-Wing, and A-Wing will attack into 7th Fleet Defender. Both units defeated. And Jordan is going to follow up with Super Laser Technician. There's a way to get some extra resources. We did not see that in the first game. Joel follows up with Restored Arc, and Jordan using the Palpatine action ability to defeat Super Laser Technician, get an extra resource, 1 damage dealt to Restored Arc. Joel using that Rey action ability, 1 experience token onto Restored Arc, bringing the total stats up to a 3-3 now with the 1 damage. And Jordan does still have the initiative. 6 total resources after being able to ramp up with the Technician. And for the 2nd straight game, Jordan will play Bosk into the ground arena with no one to ambush. So Jordan has not gotten full value out of his ambush unit so far here in this match. And here comes Joel following that up with Takedown, defeating Bosk. That's a great play. Jordan just going to claim the initiative, and Joel will put the first 3 damage of the game onto Jordan's base. And we are going to move on to the next round. Joel's Rey deck already has great hand control with cards like K2SO, Force Throw, and Pillage. But it looks like one thing Joel wants to do in this match is control Jordan's board and minimize the amount of cards that Jordan can draw off of the Palpatine action ability. And to start things out in this round, Jordan is going to play Bazine. taking a look at Joel's hand, 2 Luke Skywalkers. Jordan will have Joel discard one of the Luke Skywalkers. And Joel does get to draw a card, but man, if you're Jordan, you hate to see double Luke in this spot. Now the action back over to Joel. 6 available resources. He will start things out attacking Jordan's base for 3 once again with Restored Art. That does put the damage total on Jordan's base up to 6 damage. I like that attack from Joel. Jordan holding 5 open resources. Means that Overwhelming Barrage is live, and Joel making sure to get that damage in before Barrage could come out and potentially defeat the Restored Arc. And Jordan is going to pass here and put the action back over to Joel. Certainly raises a couple questions in Joel's mind. And Joel is going to play Sabine into the ground arena. Another possible target for Rey. The Rey deck loves all of these units with 2 or less power because Rey can give them the experience token through the action ability or on attack once she's deployed. Jordan deciding if he wants to make a play here. At this point for Joel, he needs to continue to create as much of a board presence as possible. And Jordan is going to pass once again, and now Joel just has to decide if he wants to use Rey's action ability before deploying her. And it looks like that is what Joel will do here, using Rey's action ability. Sabine getting an experience token. Sabine a 3/4 now, and can hit for a total of 4 damage on attack. Jordan with another pass. And now Joel playing the Village Protectors. And that will certainly help Joel in the ground arena, protecting the threats like Sabine or Rey once she is deployed. I do believe Jordan is holding on to Overwhelming Barrage in his hand. The Overwhelming Barrage doesn't do a ton in this spot. Bazine would become a 3 power, so Jordan could deal 3 damage. That would defeat the Restored Arc, but he cannot defeat the Sabine or Village Protectors. Here comes Overwhelming Barrage. So Jordan does defeat Restored Arc, and Bazine will have +2/+2 for the remainder of this phase. She's a 3/5. And now the action back on Joel. The only action he can take at this point would be deploy Rey. And then the question really becomes for Joel, does he let Jordan keep Bazine on the board? Joel has been aggressively trying to control Jordan's board, really trying to keep the potential card draw at bay, and Joel is going to attack into Bazine. With Rey, the experience token is going to go on the Village Protectors, so Village Protectors becomes a 3/3. 2 damage onto Bazine, 3 damage back onto Rey. And now Joel will use the epic action on Tarkintown, dealing the final 3 damage needed to defeat Bazine. And Joel continuing to control Jordan's board. And again, that just takes away potential card draw for Jordan and makes Joel's hand control that much better. We move on to round 6. Jordan now up to 8 resources. So Palpatine is now live and can be deployed at any time. But Jordan will certainly want to time it just right and try and take advantage of a very serious threat that Joel may put on the board. And here comes that change of heart. Sure enough, change of heart out of the sideboard into the main deck for game 2, taking control of Village Protectors for the phase. And Joel is going to respond with Luke Skywalker. Skywalker comes into play, -3 to the Village Protectors, defeating the Village Protectors. And then Jordan is going to play No Good to Me Dead, and he will choose to keep Luke Skywalker exhausted through next round. And now the action back over to Joel. Neither player has any open resources, but Joel does still have Rey and Sabine ready. And Rey is going to attack into Jordan's base, getting a +1/+1 experience token in the process. 3 damage to Jordan's base. Jordan claims the initiative. And here comes another 4 damage to Jordan's base with Sabine. 13 damage on Jordan's base. And we move on to the next round. Of course, Jordan choosing not to deploy Palpatine will very likely try and put at least 1 damage on Luke Skywalker, because that would be a great unit to take control of with the Palpatine when deployed ability. Luke Skywalker will remain exhausted because of the No Good to Me Dead. And to start the round, here comes Maul. Maul is going to ambush and defeat Rey. Now Rey had 3 damage on, so with 7 total HP, 4 remaining, that should be 3 damage to Joel's base. With the overwhelm on Maul, Maul takes 3 damage back. And one of Joel's threats is answered. Now with the action back on Joel, he is going to play Fell the Dragon, defeating Maul. And once again, Jordan's board is clear. And right now, no damage on Luke Skywalker, but here comes the card he needed. Cloud Rider will come in, ambush Luke Skywalker. 3 damage to Luke. And the writing is on the wall at this point with Jordan's next action. That Palpatine will be deployed, and Luke Skywalker is going across the table. Joel has the next move to make. He has a ready Sabine. Joel did everything he could to keep that board clear and keep damage off of Luke Skywalker, but a timely Cloud Rider does the job for Jordan. Joel does still have 4 remaining resources that he can use here in this round. And Joel will go ahead and attack Jordan's base for a total of 4 damage with Sabine. 17 total damage on Jordan's base. And Jordan quickly deploying Palpatine taking control of the damaged non-leader unit, Luke Skywalker. And Joel is going to take another action and play K2SO in the ground arena. And now the action back on Jordan. He has to decide, does he attack with Palpatine or does he just claim the initiative? Both players just one card in hand. And Jordan just claims the initiative, passing up on that opportunity to attack with Palpatine, as attacking with Luke Skywalker would probably be much more beneficial here in this spot, having 17 damage on his base. Both players up to 9 resources. With Jordan's first action, he is going to attack K2SO with Luke Skywalker. That is going to defeat both units. But Jordan will be able to restore 3 from his base on attack with Luke Skywalker. And now Joel just has to decide what he wants to do with the K2SO when defeated ability. He can put 3 more damage on Jordan's base, putting the total back to 17, or have Jordan discard a card, and he will put the 3 damage back on Jordan's base. And here comes Sabine attacking Jordan's base for another 4 damage, 21 damage on. And now Jordan is going to play Reinforcement Walker. Jordan gets to look at the top card of his deck and either draw it or discard it to heal 3 damage. It was a Bazine. He discards Bazine, heals 3 damage, back down to 18 damage on, and Joel is going to respond in a very big way. Crate Dragon down into the ground arena. That is a massive play for Joel. And now Jordan, with just 1 ready resource and a ready Palpatine, will very likely have to claim the initiative and hope to have an answer at the start of next round. The Crate Dragon, a huge problem for Jordan. With 18 damage on Jordan's base, there's not a lot of wiggle room here. He needs to find an answer and have a very quick answer for that Crate Dragon. Let's see how Jordan goes about this board state. And with the first action of the round, Jordan is going to attack Sabine with Reinforcement Walker. That will defeat Sabine. And Jordan is going to discard a very nice Darth Vader, the event exclusive promo. Darth Vader discarded. Jordan heals 3 damage from his base, back down to 15 damage. But Crate Dragon is left wide open. 10 damage to Jordan's base. Just 5 HP remaining for Jordan. Jordan will take the next action. Does he have an answer for Crate Dragon? And Jordan is just going to claim the initiative. He does not have an answer in hand. And that is going to leave Joel with the green light for the rest of this round to play out as many threats as possible. Joel is going to start that process with a Village Protectors in the ground arena. And then Joel will play a threat in the space arena as well. Green Squadron A-Wing And now 4 resources remaining for Joel. He is going to smuggle tech into play. And now we will move on to the next round. A huge board presence for Joel, and he just needs to deal 5 damage to Jordan's base to advance on to the semifinals. Jordan with the first action of the round. He says, I'm going to lose this game, but let's do it the right way. Palpatine's return will bring back the event-exclusive Darth Vader. Krayt Dragon will deal fatal damage to Jordan's base, and that will do it. Joel will take the match 2-0. Joel, after losing 2-0 to Jordan in round 5, is making some noise here in the top cut, and he will be advancing on to the top 4 of the Greenville, South Carolina Planetary Qualifier. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me here today. Stay tuned for the top 4 feature match coming up. May the Force be with you, and until next time, take care.